Hey, and welcome to episode 7 of the Paid Insights podcast, where we analyze and deconstruct other companies' ad campaigns so you can learn what to do and what not to do for your business. Hey, and welcome back to the Paid Insights podcast, or if you're joining us for the first time, welcome. Today we're going to look at the keyword phrase Drywall Repair San Diego. And remember that I am in Denver, so a lot of times searches will get shown based on where you're located or where the location that you type in. So we'll see how that comes into play in a second here. The ads are dominated for this search, at least when I did it, by some big kind of lead generation sites. And the first one is Houzz.com, that's Houzz. And so their ad says drywall repair, find specialized contractors. So that's good. It aligns with drywall repair, says hire the right handyman to help you with your home improvement project. And then they list services with a structured snippet. It says appliance repair, appliance installation, drywall repair, thermostat. So they list kind of a bunch of stuff. It's good to see that drywall repair is in that list though. And then they also have some site links showing for home improvement, find home professionals, specialty contractors, and hire the right contractor. So that's all good to see. And they also have the star ratings. So they're the only ad that shows those, which is nice. It kind of stands out. It is a 4.1 star rating, which seems to be a little low, but still definitely draws your eye. The second ad is from done.com, and in their display URL, they say drywall repair. The headline says $99 drywall repair, and they also repeat it with $99 drywall repair, 2-hour service, book online. But then it says local Denver, Colorado. So I think it's likely a campaign that's targeting Denver, and that's why I'm seeing it. So if they have a bunch of different campaigns for, different major cities or states, what they should do is add negative keywords for other cities if they don't want to show up for this search, for example, that says San Diego. And there's negative keyword lists out there that, will list every major city in the country or world even. So that's one thing I would do to improve that one so it doesn't show Denver, Colorado when I type San Diego. Next is from proreferral.com, and their display URL says drywall repair as well, so that's good. It says drywall repair pros, and the ad says find 5-star drywall contractors by the Home Depot. So that's great brand recognition there, because proreferral.com doesn't really mean anything, but it says by the Home Depot, so that kind of makes you trust them more. And then they have some call out extensions that say pre-screen pros, get free quotes, submit an online request, safe, fast, and efficient. So all great benefits there. And then for this, it looks like they have a drywall or kind of wall specific structured snippet. So it says types, drywall repair, drywall installation, wall patching, wallpaper removal, plaster wall repair. It looks like it kind of cuts off, but I think it says stucco. So that's it's good to see that they have more specific structured snippets and extensions in general to the search, whereas the Houzz ad had more general structured snippet that just covered everything they did. So I like to see the more aligned you can get, the better. And then lastly is from Home Advisor, and their ad says drywall repair, find contractors you can trust. And it says compare multiple top rated local experts, enter your zip code, and find pros fast. So that's good to see. It's a nice call to action. And we'll see when we get to the landing page. That's the first thing that you're asked to do is enter your zip code. So it really aligns with the landing page. And they do a good job with not only PPC and SEM, but SEO, and they have some really good teams around those. So it also says for call out extensions, 2 million plus pro reviews, 140,000 professionals, free and easy, estimates in minutes, and no obligation. So it lowers resistance, shows that they're a big company. It's easy, free. It's all good to see, and really makes you want to click and find a contractor. Now let's jump into the landing pages, and we'll begin with House. And so House looks like they do a great job here. So they have a specific page for drywall repair, and their headline says, "Let's find the right handyman services for your drywall repair project." The first question is, what is the issue with your drywall? And it says, select all that apply. And they have a couple options. It says over sanded, small hole, cracked or dented, water damage, large hole. So they're trying to figure out how big of a job it is, probably how long it's going to take. And what I really like about this is that it's easy and it's almost fun to you just choose the options, and they're not asking for, your phone number and your name and email right away. So first one, you choose small hole maybe, and then number 2 is what type of property is this? And they list house, apartment, condo, townhouse, or other. So we'll choose house, and it actually lets you scroll down, or it automatically scrolls for you. And then when do you need this project to start? And you can say flexible, 48 hours, within a week, or within a month. So I say within a week, and then pops down to anything else a pro should know to provide the best service or quote for you. So you can type a little more details here, and then after you do that, it says, what's your zip code? And this actually pre-filled my zip code. So they must be using a location service to pull that in. And that's kind of a nice touch because it just makes it easier for the user to continue. So let's continue. And then it says, sit back while we find matching handyman services in my zip code. And then next step, after it kind of goes through a search, is enter your name, phone number, and email. So they're not asking for the critical information right up front. They're letting you, give some details, and they're making it easy at first. And then once that you've done that, you're a little more committed, and you're more likely to fill out the name, phone number, and email field. And after you do that, you just click request quotes, and they send it out to, they even tell you 3 local professionals. So it makes it clear what's going to happen. And you'll probably hear from up to 3 people. This is definitely a PPC or kind of AdWords specific page. There's no extra navigation. There's nothing else you can do. You can't even click the logo to go back to House. You have to fill this out or leave. So while it might be a personal pet peeve of mine that you can't click the logo, it performs well, and it allows someone to complete the action without any distractions. Next is done.com. And remember, their ad said $99 drywall repair. But you get to the page, and they use a stock image with a Craftsman kind of tool belt thing going on, but it just feels stock, a little cheesy. It says home repair. It doesn't say anything about drywall at first glance. So it does say from $99, so it's good to see that the price aligns. And their ad did say Denver, and they're showing Denver, Colorado here in some of the landing page. So it could be good if I was looking for services in Denver. And they even use a local Denver phone number. So that's a nice touch. It makes them feel local. And they have a lot of their description as you scroll down is just it's real small text. It's kind of hard to read, and there's kind of weird paragraph spacing that just doesn't, it feels like an afterthought. I'm not sure why they did it that way, but it just doesn't look good. And on the right it says book now for a form field, but then it has probably 10 different inputs. So it asks for a first name, last name, email, telephone number, address, city, zip, date, time, describe project, and then it asks you to do a little math equation before you can book. So it feels overwhelming. And while, people looking for this type of service are willing to give that information, I really like the way that House did it, at least so far. It didn't overwhelm you. It was easy to get through. So this could definitely be better. Other than that, it has what's included, done project coordinator, which is the company, done protection, pay after service, a 12-month warranty, certified craftsman. So they do offer some features, but you really have to scroll down quite a bit to see those. So they make you kind of dig for it. And then there's a little bit about why to choose done and a little disclosure. Again, they list the local phone number, which is good to see. But yeah, this page could be a lot better. And then there's like a sign-in button at the top, but because it's white over sort of a white background, it's just impossible to read. And they have a contact button, but those don't stand out because of the background color as well. So a lot of kind of design and aesthetic work they could definitely improve. Let's look at the next one, which is proreferral.com. And it says right, in the logo, it says Pro Referral powered by the Home Depot. So there's the kind of reinforcement of the Home Depot brand. And it says find top rated pros near you. They have pre-filled my zip code, and then it shows the city and state based on that information. So they're likely using some sort of what's called location service as well. And their URL does say AdWords, so it's a specific AdWords or PPC ad. And there's an 800 number up at the top, so if you want to call, they give you that option. And it doesn't say anything about drywall, though. And it says, I need a home service professional for, and then you're supposed to type in what you need. So I would have to retype in drywall repair and then select that option, which they do make it easy, but you don't feel like you're in the right spot. The picture does happen to show a guy leveling a wall or measuring or something, but I think that's stock or standard no matter which ad you click, so it just happens to slightly align. One thing they do nicely, though, is they list some kind of features and benefits, and you can see them without having to scroll. And it says, our guarantee, quality pros, no spamming. So that's good to see. Your information won't be sold or sent out or spammed. And excellent support. They give their phone number and an email. So that really lowers your resistance. I feel like I could trust them because they've given me that information. One thing with under the no spamming, they have a typo. It says you privacy is our top priority. And I think they meant to say your privacy. So while it's good to see that it says no spamming, the fact that they've put in a typo makes me not believe them. And that is definitely something they should try to fix. As you scroll down, there's a testimonial with some people. It just says, we had an excellent experience with our pro. So the testimonial feels a little canned or a little stock. I think that could be done better, but it's good to see that they've put that in. And then it also says featured on New York Times, San Francisco Chronicle, TechCrunch, and Washington Post. So it's good to see some kind of third-party endorsements there. They list the phone number again, so they do make it easy. If you click continue under drywall repair, they ask you when do you want to start, any more things to share, add photos, but they don't overwhelm you with that giant form like Done did. So that's a good kind of flow or process that they do. And when you click continue, it kind of gives you a progress bar at the top. So it says add project details, but then you can see sort of grayed out, find my pros, and then submit my request. So it's good to see kind of where you are in the process and then how many more steps you have. People like to know that so that they don't, think they might be sitting here for an hour trying to fill this out. Let's hop over to Home Advisor. This is a SEM or PPC specific landing page, it says in the URL, and it's specifically for drywall and plaster. So it says find top rated drywall and plaster contractors. And they do a kind of nice 1, 2, 3. It says 1, enter your zip code, 2, describe your project, and 3, compare matching pros. So I like to see that right up front because it lets you know, it's just going to be 3 steps and then you'll be able to get a contractor. They do list some benefits below a zip code box. So it says always free to use. Pros are screened for felony and bankruptcy, which is a common concern with people coming into your house. So that's good to see that they list that up front. And get competitive quotes with a single request. So they say enter zip code to get started, and that's literally the first step that you need to do. Where I think a lot of these companies could improve as far as the zip code is a lot of people tend to search from work for projects for their house, and those can be different zip codes or different cities. A lot of people work in a downtown area but live in the suburbs. So I would actually recommend saying that in a kind of a subheading when you're asking people to put in their zip code, or even if you've pre-filled it, say, confirm this is where the work is going to be done. I think that would just help kind of get better leads. So it says, what's your project in Morrison, Colorado? That's the zip code I'm in. So this should be step 2 of describing your need for Home Advisor. And most popular is drywall install. So it's not a specific drywall repair page. It's a page that lets you either repair or install drywall or plaster. So you choose your options, and we'll let it load. It says, what is the location of your project? So it's asking for my zip code again. So they've actually did what I said, but they made you go through 2 steps. But Home Advisor does a nice progress bar at the top as well. So once I get to this step and click next, it says 20%, and it's filled up 20% of a bar up at the top. And then it's similar to House, where you just kind of check little boxes. I feel like that it really makes it easy and sort of fun. So as we click next, it automatically scrolls down to the next option, which is nice. One thing I think could be improved here is that progress bar is way up at the top now. And so they should kind of make it a static header so you can see your progress as you keep clicking next. Because if I scroll back up, now it says 40%. But most people probably wouldn't do that. So if they could make that kind of static and persistent so the user could see it, that'd be great. It says choose the appropriate status, ready to hire or planning. So that's similar to House, where it was either now or in a week or in a month. And then timing, home or business, and then insurance claim or not. So they get the information they need for the leads to be able to give them to the appropriate people. Some extra details, and you click next, and then now it says 80%. So it could be by design. You go from 20%, and by the time you get through those steps, you're up to 80%. Maybe you feel like you're almost done, but I don't know. I would like to see it persistent. And then they ask you at the last step for your name, address, phone number, and email. So it's good to see they're asking for all that critical information at the end after you've gone through the process. So I think that wraps up the drywall repair San Diego search. Obviously, they kept showing my zip code because I'm in Denver, or Morrison exactly, and I just want to point out that it's not uncommon for someone to search possibly for their parent or brother or kid, and they'll be searching in another city. So that type of thing isn't unusual. So I just wanted to make that clear in case you were wondering if that was even a thing that happened. But that wraps it up. And if you enjoyed this episode, please leave a rating and review on iTunes. And we will see you in the next episode. Thanks.